Come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We got my man BJ in the building, and we got my
You.
man from the Square Circle Boys, my man Polo. Polo. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on? E, what's going on, BJ?
Hey
You.
man, look, look, we got to talk about this. And look, people, look, I know I ain't had nighttime in a couple of weeks. Look, a man be busy. Okay, look, but I had to make sure we talked about this episode of Dynamite because this was legitimately crazy. Man, look, I ain't gonna cap, man. This was a real good one. And it's funny because thinking about it, the last time we had you on here, Polo, you talked about somebody special. You talked about that girl Tekla.
Oh, my
You
wife.
talked about that girl Tekla, man. So let's go ahead and talk about the show. Let's get into it and let's talk about that AEW Dynamite. Man. Look, let's go ahead and get right into it. I ain't gonna lie, man. They kicked this joint off going crazy already, man. Look, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. You see what happened. Okay. Kenny Omega first came out, started talking to Tony Schiavone, Swerve coming out. Well, look, I got to talk about this. Swerve, okay, talking about how he was really trying to stop Andrade with the screwdriver. Kenny Omega said, "Well, I didn't ask for your help at all. It was never needed." I said, "Okay, you right about that, Kenny, low key." Now, what I loved about it, Swerve talked about Kenny Omega. He was the god of wrestling 5 years ago. Okay, then says to Swerve, "You're not the same wrestling guy that I know. You're not the cleaner." I said, "Come on, Swerve, I love you. Okay, I love you to death. But you can't be saying this about my man Kenny Omega like he a scrub now." I say, all right, we got to stop this. But I love what he was doing on this because then right after that, you know, they started getting serious about this. Kenny Omega got to the point where he felt so disrespected. He said, you talking all this stuff. We can do something right now. Slap the hell out of Swerve. I said, damn. Swerve said, the last time you came out the house wasn't my fault. But after this, whatever happens to you, oh, it's on you. Man, them boys started throwing hands. They started going crazy. All to the point they was throwing garbage cans at each other on with the crowd. I said, man, y'all are going insane. My man Kenny Omega hitting that V trigger on Swerve right into the freaking LED screen. I said, man, y'all are insane. But to the point where Kenny Omega, okay, had Swerve on his shoulders. Okay, Swerve takes it looked like it was like at first I thought it was a mic. Takes a pole, starts hitting Kenny Omega in the head with it to the point where he speared Kenny Omega through a table. Insane. Insane. Now, I think so far, at first I said to myself, we can have this match tonight for all I care. I don't give a damn. Let's get this whole thing going. But so far, I think the build up to this is something I never expected would have been so great. I love the story that they're telling so far with this, man. It's crazy. I was talking on the phone with my mom when this was going on. She was like, "Look, she said, I like Swerve." She said, "But I ain't like no Kenny Omega." I said, "Come on, man. We know who the wrestling god is." But yeah, man, I loved everything about this. Felt personal, felt like a real rivalry. And honestly, I can't wait. I ain't gonna care. If this was for a title, I'd be all for it. But the fact that it's not, and they're really telling this story, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Polo, yeah. What's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I like the fact. First off, thanks for bringing me back. But let's get to it. Like you said in the beginning, yo, like I like originally what Swerve did in acknowledging Andrade because I was mad that he didn't last week. He acknowledged Kenny like Kenny had won that match. and I was just a little thrown off by that. But now I think this match is going to it has me in an excitement level, bro. Honestly, I don't even know what I want to get from this. I don't know if I want a no finish and just a banger. Do I actually want to see one of these two take a loss? Um, I asked this earlier, like if Kenny loses, does it still make sense for him to necessarily go right after MJF? And if Swerve were to lose or even win, do you still throw him against to finish another story with Hangman?
Mm.
Um, that's where I'm at with that. What I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself, fellas, but I'm just trying to see what happens with the fallout of this. Or is this going to turn into a series? Like, will this be like, is this going to be part one since this is their first time fighting ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this part one, and now we about to get that quick runoff, or like I said, does Swerve just go back to Hangman after this, and then does Kenny just automatically go to MJF? Which is why I think after just saying that again, I think I might have to change my vote. I think Kenny's gonna win.
Hmm. Think so.
Yeah, I think about it. Kenny is going. His hunt is MJF, right? He just has the pit stop with Swerve. In most case scenarios, why would you let a person go in the chase after a world heavyweight title, get a go right into that picture off of a loss, and then you send the winner somewhere else? So I think just to make Kenny look strong and have us more convincing that he might be able to actually be the one to get MJF, you have to let him win. And beating Swerve will validate that. That's
Yeah.
just maybe I'm everywhere with that, but I think that's where that's gonna go.
I feel that. I feel that. One thing I like too, with the promo, like with Kenny Swerve was saying, you coming up against the most dangerous man in AEW. Kenny said, "You ain't the most dangerous man." He said, "The most dangerous man in AEW is Brody King." Everybody followed up with the barks, man. I said, you know what? Bit of
Really
a
quick on
shot.
that, really quick on that, fellas. Did you guys know that arena requested that Brody not be there to avoid the AEW crowd from repeating those chants?
That's crazy. I did not even know that. That's wild.
It wasn't
Yeah,
AEW; it was the facility.
that's crazy.
Apparently, there was a gentleman or a fan rather, with a abolish ICE shirt, and they got kicked out. That's what I heard.
No,
That's crazy.
dude
That's
was
crazy.
the man was posted online. They got pictures of him, and he showed pictures of himself like I'm the real thing. That was a real thing. People with signs and everything. Never
Yeah.
thought we'd get there.
Well, you see how they did last week. The crowd. I was like, I felt I was off. You said MJF was. He was like, I love this. He said, I love our fans. I said, you're damn right, MJF. BJ, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Man, listen, when it comes to Kenny Omega, and as I said on another podcast, that Kenny's promos are very conversational. So it feels as if it's you're sitting down talking with a friend when you hear his promos. So I love the intensity of Swerve and how Swerve was not backing down. Especially loved that spirit that Swerve gave Kenny went to that table. Listen, I think that we're gonna get a nice little time limit draw for this match next week. So I think there's not gonna be a winner. It's gonna be a time limit draw. They're gonna milk it until we get to um Dynasty in Canada, where Kenny will probably get the win for his title shot at MJF at Double or Nothing or something like that.
Okay. Okay. So you saying Dynasty.
Yes.
You think Dynasty.
Mm.
So I was starting to think. maybe they push it to Revolution. That's what I was thinking. But Dynasty, I'm not gonna cap, man. Dynasty, I feel like it's one of those pay-per-views for Swerve to like, because like I'm thinking about like the last few dynasties, he really showed out. Won the AEW title,
Mhm.
all this stuff. So I think I can definitely see that Dynasty.
That's
Double
his
or Nothing wouldn't be bad neither.
dynasty is Swerve's
Yeah,
man.
because I
Yeah,
highly doubt that if Cope and Christian are gonna be back, that they would let three of Canada's favorite sons lose. On the pay per view that's in British Columbia, Canada.
yeah,
So I highly doubt that.
I feel that. I feel that. Let's go talk about this next segment, man, because this was crazy. Y'all know how I feel about my man Don Callis, the best freaking manager ever. Hyping up that man. My man Carl Fletcher. Man, you know what? Just for the one time, I gotta do it because I just feel like it would just do this justice if I ain't talk about the Don Callis slaps.
Thing just got very rich from taking out Jet Speed, and it's Jake Doyle. This guy is an animal, and this guy is an animal, and we're gonna kill some people. That's what we're gonna do. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is gonna be great. Ow. Let's go out.
It becomes more classic every time I see it.
Every
Yes,
time, bro. Every
yes.
time. Ain't nothing like them Don Callis slaps. I'm
It's
telling you,
the,
man.
it's the little kid. It's the little kid, John. I got
There's
bigger
a-
things than
Are you
you.
ready for this? Are you ready? This is gonna be great. Oh man, let's go ahead and talk about this next one, man. Look, the trios match. Oh my god, man. This was crazy. Okay. We had John Moxley, Claudio, and Pac beating the Don Callis fan, which had Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and that man Mark Davis. Look, I'm not even gonna cap, and I'd be capping a lot if I didn't say this match wasn't a banger. The spot where Claudio first, oh my god, first of all, I said, man, look at the strength of this man. Okay. Th- Man, this was crazy. When Claudio had took Mark Davis and him and Mark Davis were going back and forth on the suplexes. And then to the point where Claudio had Mark Davis halfway up and still picked him up and dropped. I said, come on, this is why they used to call it a Swiss Superman. But yeah, this was
Yes,
this was great, bro. This was a great match. I'm not gonna lie, probably one of my favorite rivalries. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This is one of those things where this is two heel factions, and the story is so good, you don't even know who the hell the heel is at this point. I mean, to me personally, I would say maybe the Death Rise would be more of a face in this
Oh,
particular
definitely.
situation. Yeah. And then the Don Castle, but it's so good. Like this is a really good rivalry. And I'm like, yo, every time you got John Moxley talking, saying all this stuff to Don Callis and them going back and forth. I love this. And even the last few weeks, John Moxley kind of harassing Don Callis. Don Callis running. Hey, Clyde, I've been telling y'all this. Don Callis top three runners in AEW of all time. Might be top three in pro wrestling, period. Him, MJF, Drew McIntyre. I've been said this. But hey, if you watch Drew McIntyre run, he's up there, bro. I'm telling you. But MJF and Don, boy, I'm talking speedsters, and I ain't talking the Flash.
I'll get ready to
Polo,
say.
what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
He said I'm running 94.50. Okay. I always say this, and I just got done saying this earlier. One thing I love that AEW does when they come with 6-man tag, 6-man woman tag matches, they are so genius with always putting in-ring intelligence together. There's 6 people in there who know what they're doing. Those matches come out fluid. The bangers and the connections from having Claudio against Takeshita, the Claudio, and like we said, we saw Claudio and Mark Davis. You love that pickup spot, Eric. I personally was just enjoying the chops that Claudio would take. And he'd
Oh
come
yeah.
twist uppercuts, and then he'd come back with the double chop. Then he'd lock them and hit them back with them uppercuts.
Yeah.
Then they both bounce off the ropes and try to knock each other down. And they did that like 3 times and just bounced off each other. Then went back to chops and uppercut. That was my favorite spot of that whole little face off. Moxley against Josh Alexander. That's always something interesting just because when those worlds collide, I don't know. I just enjoyed that match because it just was right. From even when they were just all having their one-on-ones to when it just broke down and everybody was outside, everybody was just kicking each other's ass. It was just a beautiful, beautiful match. I'm just gonna say this though, and I know I'm getting ahead, but I'm ready for Takeshita to get some gold. Like I need them to take. I actually might want them to take that away from good old Mox.
Really?
Yes. And I know, fast forward to the end of that match. If you notice when Takeshita was standing outside, the way he was staring at Mox, I know it was the way he got screwed out that win. But because you did that to me, I'm going to take what you have. You have a belt, so now I want your title.
I feel that.
That's where I see that's going. And would you be mad at a Takeshita Moxley little thing?
Nah, bro. I feel like if we talk about Moxley in general, to me, I think he's definitely one of those like gritty wrestlers I love to see. And Takeshita, man, that man is just next level. Probably top 10 currently right now, I would say, man. Like, so yeah, I think those two different types of styles will clash very well, and I think it'd be a banger. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Sure, we might see something like that. Revolution, maybe Dynasty. Wouldn't be surprised about Double or Nothing. And I will say, when it comes to John Moxley having a title, those title reigns are pretty lengthy. Pause. So I think for sure, I could see that. I could see him dropping it, probably Double or Nothing, or Dynasty. I mean. It's like really thinking about it. I can't see him having it all the way to All In, but I mean, nobody thought that same thing with the AEW World Title, and he had it since all the way to All In. So I can see that.
Title.
Yeah, no cap. Still had Brian Danielson's plates on the joint. That's how you knew that thing ain't never come out the briefcase. But yeah, I can see something like that for sure. BJ, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Man, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I said before, AEW knows how to cook up the perfect recipe. So when it comes to having the appetizer for a good dynamite, they know how to set up the table well. This reminded me a lot of the opening matches for like WCW Nitro. If you ever watch those great openers, this was one of those, and they had a great story to build to it, and it built up to um Grand Slam Australia with Mox and Takeshita. Takeshita always amazes me in the ring. He reminds me a lot of a gentleman by the name of Hideo Hitami, or better known as Kenta from NXT and Pro Wrestling Noah. Great legend on the Japanese wrestling scene, and somebody who I highly respect. So Takeshita reminds me a lot of him, and obviously John Moxley. His record speaks for itself. His pedigree speaks for itself. So I was very glad to see this match, this trios match, and it's been a great rivalry. I do think that um we will get more turmoil within the Don Callis family in some sort of way, and I think that will happen through Takeshita winning the international continental championship rather, and obviously winning the international championship from Okada, and that's gonna cause a lot of dissension between a lot of the family members and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that, man. I think for sure. I can really see that, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this particular rivalry, this storyline, I think when you have two factions like this can go anywhere. You can pair up Takeshita and Mox. You can pair up, like I know I'm just throwing this out here, but like a Claudio and Lance Archer. You know what I'm saying? You could throw in like a Daniel Garcia going up against like Josh Alexander. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different avenues they can take this, and I'm all for it. Hell, I'm down to see Pac versus I'm thinking somebody. I could see Pac versus Andrade. That could be a banger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think this can go on a lot of different avenues. But let's go ahead and go down this street, this TNT match, man, because I ain't gonna cap. This was an absolute shocker to me. 100%, definitely seeing Kyle Fletcher beating Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT title. I said, man, ain't no way this is happening. I mean, and it did. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. This legitimately shocked me. But what was crazy? Mark Briscoe comes out, talks his talks, tells Kyle Fletcher, look, I'm not gonna cap. We're gonna have another match for this TNT title. I want my title back. Kyle then got so pissed off. He said, you want it? You got it. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna make that happen. Now, that being said, okay, I'm not even gonna cap for myself, man. Look, uh, I ain't gonna. I was shocked in a lot of ways. Now I love the TNT title. I think it has prestige. I think it has that elegance. I was just like, damn, 2 weeks though. 2 weeks. That was the only thing I was like, damn. I wish Tommaso could have had a little bit longer. Definitely made an impact when he got there. But I was like, man, for Mark to lose the title for 2 weeks, all of a sudden getting a rematch. Now, mind you, I'm okay with this because it's about to be Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher in the ladder match. Do I think this should be a triple threat? Hell yes. I think Tommaso Ciampa should be the third man for this because he just lost the title. So hopefully, in some way, shape, or form, we see the Psycho Killer come back and intervene and get into this match. But if not, I'm still okay with it. I mean, we're talking about Kyle Fletcher. Okay, we talking about the Proto Star. So I'm all for it. And we talking about Mark Briscoe, man. Come on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do wish Tommaso had a few more, even like I would have been okay with a month. But again, I get it. And this wasn't the only title change we've seen, so we're gonna get into that later. But let's see what y'all think. Polo, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I see nothing wrong with it other than the fact that did you guys want to pop for his entrance in Australia, or would you guys rather him win in Australia? I also agree with you wholeheartedly about this being a triple threat match, which is why I don't think we're gonna get a winner. Champ is going to interfere. 100% Champ is going to interfere. I'm more curious to see if Ciampa is going to just help Briscoe get it so they can rerun their ish back, or does Ciampa's interference just cause Kyle Fletcher to retain, and then it just causes a triple threat, and then we go from there. And I'm not upset that Ciampa only had a 2-week reign, just for the fact that I'm happy that Ciampa was put in a championship reign at all. That's my biggest excitement for Ciampa. You went from doing respectfully, but you were chilling. You came over here and got right to it. And every match, these 3 matches that you've given us have been fired. So thank you for that. And now you're just rotating in a championship circle. So I'm not upset whatsoever. And I don't think that you won't see gold again very quickly either. That was like a tease. Now we want it again. So now when he gets it, we're going to still be happy. That's the perspective I'm looking at it. The ladder match itself, though, is going to bang. Because Mark Briscoe gives 0 Fs, and he's going to do whatever it takes. And what we saw last night, we saw the Proto Star go super proto. How many knees from Ciampa did he take?
Man, come on. That was crazy.
How many knees did this man take? And he just, come on. He was on his Shinsuke Mora type. You feel me? Come on. So, yeah, man, I'm more and more and more impressed with Kyle Fletcher. The more validation I try to speak highly of this man, he continues to show why we should feel what we feel and knowing that this man is for real. Match is going to be fair. I'm ready just to see how Champ is going to come into it. And I'm excited. Yeah. I just wish we had an extra week so we could really, really see where we're going. But I'm excited for this match. Very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was a banger, man. Like, I like how you talked about it because that was true. When I seen Kyle like kind of just hit that, I was like, oh man, he might actually win this show. I mean, it was crazy. But I mean, and the way Tommaso Ciampa, man, like those guys were just really throwing down, man.
Um,
I loved it. Hey, shout out to my man, Mr. Exclusive, watching us. Good to see. Hey, like how you said that nighttime is the right time. I like that. I like that, man. I like that. BJ, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, all I'm gonna say is initially, and this may shock a lot of the knights of the round table around here. I initially was not a fan of the title change, and then I thought about it, and I said, well, we could get a better story for Ciampa coming out of this. Hopefully, it ends in him somehow, some type of way, getting some more gold around his waist, whether it's the TNT title, the international title, or the continental title, whatever they want to do. I feel like he could be a great contender for any one of those titles. I think that Tommaso was a great talent. He said in this interview that he wanted to test himself and to prove that 2018 through 2019 was not his best year, but that he's at his peak right here and right now. So I think that we're seeing Tommaso Ciampa beginning to start at his peak. So we're gonna see a whole new different version of Tommaso Ciampa, and I can't wait to see what happens with him next. Obviously with Kyle Fletcher, I'm a huge fan of his work. Um, so I do think that this title reign will not be very long, but I do think it'll be very strong. If you know what I'm
mm,
saying.
mm, not
Mm.
but strong, huh?
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I'm good now. I had to see what was going on my laptop real quick. You know, sometimes the devil be trying to work on my joint. I don't know what be going on. But yeah, hey, low key PJ, BJ, you had to low key pause that. That was crazy. Long and strong is insane, sir.
I
That
used
was
to I
insane.
used to be I used to be a spoken word artist before I was a content creator, so I definitely feel why you might have said that. My bad.
That was very-
Nah, you good, bro. I was like, I was sitting there tweaking with the. I said, "Whoa,
I
that was
mean, I,
crazy."
it be like that sometimes.
It do, it do. Oh man.
I dipped back into my poetry bag for like 10 seconds.
But to your point about that though, about his title reign, the longevity of his championship title reign will be effective. Um, I agree, but I'm upset that I do
Mm,
because I'm torn between everybody. Because Briscoe didn't really have a long title run either. We're over automatically kind of like Ciampa just
Yeah.
got his title run, but Briscoe didn't hold that title for like a long
it's
time.
only it's
Yeah.
only a
I
few
think it was
months.
like
It's
since
only a
I think it
few
was like since
months.
November. Yeah, since full gear.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's been some, yeah, ain't yeah, because this is like, I mean, he had like a four and a half, what, 4.5 months, maybe three and a half
yeah.
months.
Not he was only nine and
Just say,
one.
look, this is my thing. If you can't even pull off six, like if you can't even pull off a 6 month, not that you can't do it, but I feel like a 6 month title reign is like, okay, it gives validation to the reign. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's like you were just about to cook and then they stop. That's how I always feel. So because of that, Briscoe has a very valid reason to win this title back. Ciampa, like you said, 2 weeks. Fletcher, you consider yourself the GOAT. So it's like if you keep it, what are we doing? But then at the same, not even in that, what are we doing? I want you to move up. But here's my last thing, fellas, and then I'm sorry. Like Does Kyle Fletcher keep the TNT title reign until Will Ospreay comes back and gets healthy?
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Before he starts chasing after the AEW World Title, that's where I was pretty much trying to get with that.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I could see that because that is a title he hasn't had yet. And I think if Will Ospreay does have that title, not to say he wouldn't bring it, he wouldn't. I think he would bring more prestige to it. And I think if Will Ospreay has that TNT title, he's gonna legitimate. I feel like he would have that for a good little
No,
minute.
that's not what I was saying.
What would you think?
If you let Kyle Fletcher retain the TNT title,
Mm,
you're not gonna put him in the AEW World Championship title picture yet because
right.
there's so many top faces there right now. Let some of those guys get their turns, kind of start falling, not falling off, but you get what I mean. By that time, Will Ospreay will be healthy. He will be back in it because when Ospreay comes back, straight AEW World Title picture. Now, by then, Kyle Fletcher can drop this TNT title. Now, maybe not the
Okay.
first person, maybe not maybe not the second person, but some of those first few people, maybe just to get Fletcher's title ring flowing. Then, boom, here comes the Proto Star.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you say it like that, I see what you're saying. I thought you okay. I'm picking up what you're
Yeah.
putting down. I feel that.
And that's why I'm saying
And
maybe they're gonna put the title on Fletcher for that to build up for that transition. Because if he's not having a title, he's good enough to have some shit, but you want to keep Kyle Fletcher in a top picture,
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I can see that.
that's
Yeah.
all. Because he could easily.
and
Oh, my bad, BJ. Go ahead.
mm, well, what I was gonna say was, and it would help him to elevate his star power, like more of his star power. With like, you give him more credible names to work with. You give him guys like a Kevin Knight or um the Desmond Xaviers of the world, the like the or Zachary Wentz. I'm sorry, the Zachary Wentz of the world. He can have so many different formidable opponents. As I'm thinking right now, they could bring in somebody for like Forbidden Door, like a Michael Oku or somebody like that, where he could just have a good match with, and they could build up his repertoire as a
He can
as
fight
a
Andrade.
champion. Yeah, and Andrade as well. Yes, like there's a lot of wrestlers he can add to his resume as opponents and say, I've beaten this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. I've gotten 5-star matches with each person. I've had great stories to go along with them. I think that Kyle can use this opportunity to just have great matches and great stories with anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this next one, man, real quick. Willow, Harley Cameron, man. They talking about their loss that they suffered last week to Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. I ain't gonna lie, man. I love my Long Island girl, man. I love Willow. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to my best friend, one of my best high school friends, Emmanuel, which is the actual real cousin of my girl Willow Nightingale. That's how we do it out here. So yeah, and BJ, I know you happy. Look, I can't get you a meet and greet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you love Willow. I can't get you no look, if I can't meet Willow yet, ain't no way you about to meet Willow. So we gotta wait. We got
Come on, E.
man,
Well,
You
look,
can't
look.
meet William.
I can't pull
You
that
can't.
many strings, bro. I can't.
I'll tell her hi on behalf of the both of y'all. And
Please,
Oh my
please.
god, here we go. All right, let's get to this next segment. Look. Let's talk about this, man. Look, this next match, we gotta talk about this. This was a crazy one right here. Okay,
this is a very telling situation.
man. Look, come on. We had the tag team match, Orange Cassidy and Roger Strong going up against Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors. Nice to see him make a debut. Went crazy. I mean, this was a great match starting off. You see what happened. Orange Cassidy trying to go for the tag for Roger Strong. Roger Strong drops and leaves. I said, man, come on, bro. Why are you doing my man OC like this? But what was crazy? To even up the odds, Darby Allin comes out and starts beating the hell out of Clark Connors. to the point where Orange Cassidy gets the advantage and gets the pin on Daniel Garcia. Now, what was even crazier, Tony Storm. Come on, Timeless, man. You know that girl, Timeless. You know, talking about getting her hair cut. She's talking. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tony is hilarious. Man, the stuff she was saying,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just great stuff out of her. But what was crazy? What was crazy? Wheeler Yuta comes out and
I
tells,
hate this man.
and I mean, don't we all? I always say this all the time, man. This man has zero aura. Okay. But Wheeler Yuta comes out with the mic and says, hold on, bring her out real quick. Brings out Mina, man, and look at Marina, man. She holding Mina like this, man. I said, man, come on. And Wheeler Yuta himself cuts Mina's hair.
Yeah, that was
Wild. And then in the midst, come on, Orange Cassidy, man. Just having to watch it. Oh man, I thought this was insane. I thought this was crazy. First of all, come on, Roddy. You can't be leaving my man Orange Cassidy like this, man. Look, I love Roger Strong, and I've always said he got the strongest elbows and the strongest knees in pro wrestling. And you see how he be doing. Nah, nah, nah. That's my man. Look, but this was a good match, and honestly, I've said this plenty of times. I would have never thought we would ever see Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy as a thing. And this is probably the most perfect. I said this is the best clash of styles because you got one guy that don't really care, just real laid back, just real chill. And then you got Tony Storm with all the energy in the world. And honestly, I think what they're doing is just great stuff, man. Look, honestly, I keep thinking to myself, who the hell is gonna get their hair cut? I mean, me personally, if Tony Storm was bald, it might work.
not a might.
It might work.
It will.
It will.
Eric,
But it not.
it's only one person who's gonna. I've talked to BJ about this. I think it's only one person, gentlemen, who's gonna walk away
With their haircut. And I think we all know. Wheeler Yuta. I think hands down. Wheeler.
It's just gonna be Wheeler. Okay. I'm not saying it like that's like a spoiler, like we know it. I'm saying that because that's what I want to satisfyingly watch. I want everybody else to be glamorous and so you know how they can be like, what did Cassidy do last week? Dude, I like my hair.
Or like even when they be talking about Ricochet, how he be bald and everybody just be messing with their hair.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to. Yes, Tony, you might not look too shabby with your hair short, right? But
I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy thinking about it. Like Tony Storm bald. But yeah, I feel that though.
Fear bald.
I can low-key see that. I feel like she could low-key pull it off.
But how is
I think she'd be a G.I. Jane look.
How would Roddy feel about that?
That's what my hang up is. I'm like, Roddy ain't gonna go for that.
Roddy ain't going for that, right?
Yeah, that's probably why they probably gonna just have Wheeler Yuta just take the L and cut it because it's like, bro, you can recover from this. You know, everybody else got long. I mean, granted, Wheeler got some hair on him, but like Tony got hair, Marina got hair. We're talking length here,
Right.
So it's like out of everybody else, yeah, Wheeler can take that L.
Even Cassidy, you can cut yours, bro. You just got the little, too much. Great, bro. Everybody else, Tony Storm is gonna take about 2 years to grow all that back. Marina is gonna take about 2 years to grow all that back. Yeah, nah, that's cool.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think Wheeler is a pro, so I think that he'll take on the chin for the team.
I can see that.
I've been saying it. This whole thing is just so Wheeler gets his haircut.
Yeah. I think Tony will put in his contract at this point. Hey, listen, we're gonna do this whole harmless agreement where you gonna get your haircut.
That's fun. That's what that makes you come to work and want to have fun. When you're out there, you can tell, like, yeah, I gotta look serious, I gotta play this, but that's what makes you enjoy it, yo. And to convince the ones who really don't know no better, it makes it even better. Like, yeah, this is beautiful, bro. I'm loving what I'm. This is beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Will
And
Yeah, man.
though,
the
bro? Tony can get back
the
to titles.
the one thing that I love about AEW, and this is just like as a fan of just pro wrestling in general, they
Mm.
have restored my belief in kayfabe in a lot of different aspects. Like there are certain things that like I'm like, okay, how much of this is real? How much is
Jacob
it?
Friedman.
Yes, like because of MJF and a lot of other characters around there, I am totally sold that kayfabe is not all the way dead anymore. Like how much of these people start where does these people's characters start and where's the actual person end, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thing,
Maxwell
man.
Jacob
Jacob
Friedman.
Freeman.
Freeman.
Um, it's it. The name checks all the boxes.
Come on, bro. Come on. Long Island Zone, baby. Let's get it. Come on, Dad.
One of the most
That's my boy
intelligent
right there.
one of the most
Brody
intelligent
King,
professional wrestlers, bro,
representative.
that you would ever find. Like him and Heyman, bro, I will forever sing their praises in terms of the fact that you don't know whether or not they're playing a character. You
I
just
think what it
know.
is with them too, though, like when
Yeah.
we talk about like Adam Heyman Page and MJF, I think it's something about those two specifically. It's like I feel like MJF as a character, and we're gonna move on a little bit after this, but I feel like with MJF as a character, I feel like all the rivalries he has with people is like very like monumental. Like like I bet we're gonna talk about it. So like MJF and Will Ospreay. Probably one of my favorite rivalries we've seen. I mean, again, I was there live in person for that 59 minutes and 57-second match. I was there live when it happened. I wish I had it on my cam. But man, I said, oh no, this is crazy. They're going crazy tonight. Like that was a banger. MJF and Kenny Omega. Banger. If we talk about like MJF and Adam Hangman Page, and I think that is probably one of my favorite ones, especially when he be calling him Seabiscuit. I mean, bruh, I don't know what it is. Hi, Seabiscuit. Like, I don't know what it is, bruh. It is so funny. But that rivalry specifically, I felt like has lasted since the start of AEW. And every time when these guys get in the ring and they talking, I'm like, nah, this is one of those rivalries. Like, you can compare it to maybe I think even if we go down, even if we wait a few years, I think one of their rivals might be just as good as like a Rock and Stone Cold, because it's like you got two of the top
Mhm,
guys right here, and every time when they have a
mhm.
rivalry, you're like, oh no, this feels real, this feels, and the promo work together is great. I
Exactly.
love what they do.
Yes, very
And I would also say, and whenever I see them in the ring, they remind me a lot of, and forgive me for the comparison, it reminds me a lot of when Triple H and John Cena would come stand toe to toe in the ring from each other. It reminds me a lot of that in terms of their rivalry is really just about, okay, they say that you're the franchise, they say I'm the franchise. Let's really prove it in the ring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or maybe even like a John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Maybe I can get.
yeah,
I think I can get that comparison almost.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think yeah,
yeah,
MJF and John I was saying Adam Heyman Page. I think that like those two right there compared to them and like Randy and John Cena, I think yeah, that'd be one of those
yeah,
for sure.
yes. It reminds me a lot. They pull a lot from the Room of Aggression era and a lot of different things from like the way they do their promos. I'm just like, this reminds me of peak Ruthless Aggression era rivalries that a lot of us grew up on.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, man. Let's talk about this guy. Man, y'all know how I feel about my man. Look, Don Callis, man, hyping up Andrade, and this was good. Talking about pretty much just what they got set up for that tournament. I said, man, look, this is good stuff here. But then, Jet Speed. Now, I think this is crazy because every time I see them with this, I be thinking, oh, they're the tag team champs. I'm like, wait a minute. No, they're not. They're the trio tag. So, but man, I think seeing these guys with gold is one of my favorite things to see, especially my man. I always say long lost cousin My man Kevin Knight. I be saying that all the time, man. Shout out to Kevin Knight. But we got to talk about this, man. Come on. Come on, bruh. Shots, 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 shots. Man, my Brooklyn boys came back, man. I love to see it. They kept trying to say Private Party was WWE bound, but you see what happened when they came. Man, look, I loved it. I loved it, man. This was a great, great return seeing my boys, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But this was a tag team match that we had, and this was incredible, man. Look, we're talking about the Young Bucks, okay? We're talking about Private Party, and we're talking about the Rascals. This was incredibly a great match, man. Ultimate banger, and you see who won. Come on, bro. You see who won this. How many times I got to tell people the best tag team of all time are the Bucks?
No, they're not. But
Who better than them? Who better than them,
The
Polo? Who you think better than the Bucks? I know, BJ. I know you gonna say the Briscoes. We done talked about this before, but I got to get this from Polo because look, I'm telling y'all, nobody's better than the Bucks, man.
I must get ready to thank
I
God
know you lying, bro. I know you lying, bro. Chill. Thank God.
for the
for the
new
new day.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I love the New Day. Don't get me wrong, man. I love the New
greatest
Day,
tag team
but
of all time.
time.
Thank you
I
very
can
much.
see what you mean.
If you've been listening to Nighttime long enough, you know what BJ's favorite tag team of all time is.
I don't know how,
And
but
it's them boys from Sandy Fork, Delaware.
oh,
Yeah,
The
he love the Briscoes.
Briscoes.
Yeah, he love the Briscoes. He love the
Yes.
Briscoes, man. Look,
13-time tag champs, IWGP tag champs. Listen,
I
had a
feel you.
it's
had
like
a
I
bang
feel you.
had
you
a banger
can't put us in say like,
trilogy of matches between them and FTR. Had a match with the Hardys. I
I
mean,
don't, I don't know,
um,
man. What you about to say, Polo? What you about to
it's
say,
just
man?
not fair because when you do the Briscoes, bro, it's kind of hard to go against that out of respect for Jay because he's not here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can see it, but I'm still thanking
God.
God for the
for
new.
the new day.
Man, I feel y'all, right? Like
You can't.
I
I mean,
definitely feel
my
I feel
man,
you, Polo. I feel you. And then I feel BJ. But it's just when you put the Bucks in a tag team match, you can always guarantee it's gonna be the most crisp, the most perfect. I've never seen these men ever botch and I hate to say that because I
I
knock
don't
on
like
wood,
using
I
the word.
you right. But they just to me, tag team, they're my goats. It just
Uh,
especially when Nick get crazy, when Nick Jackson goes crazy, does the little flip, kick, do another. Come on, bro.
Bro,
Perfect every
most
time.
of us catch Nick or Matt with a Trouble in Paradise is, I, and y'all know where I stand on this top. But the new, yeah, look, the New Day versus the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks.
That'd be
Whatever
classic.
the stipulation,
mm. And see,
who's coming out?
my dream match of all, like back when Jay was still living, my
Mhm.
dream match was Briscoes versus Usos versus the
No,
Young Bucks.
no. See,
Nah, I'm
that's
done
the
with the Usos.
no, bro. New Day over the. We're not even finna bring. Look, we're not gonna disrespect tonight by talking about Dynamite, bringing up the Usos. We
Mhm.
thank God
I,
we have a New Day to talk about.
I'm
Okay,
talking about Uso Penitentiary Usos though. It's Uso Penitentiary Usos, yes. Not them jokers that I'm seeing on TV now. I don't.
That's respectable. That's
Yeah.
respectable.
Thank
Somebody talked about that.
God.
God. Name's BJ. You talked about FTR. I thought this was interesting right here. FTR
Mm.
came out, addressed the Bucks. Now look, if y'all remember when FTR
Mm.
first came to AEW, the Bucks were the first ones to have a rival with. And I said, man, I never would have thought we'd have seen greatness out of this, but this was great. What I loved about it, the Bucks beat the hell out of FTR real quick to the point
Mhm.
where they had this man Stokely had the titles.
That was
You know,
hilarious.
Stokely. Look, you know what's crazy, man? I say this. If Stokely could walk, I'd probably put him in the top 5 best runners of all pro wrestling for real. I really, I really do. You know, he don't run too much, but he just looks like a runner to me. I don't know what it is, man. It's crazy. But yeah, this was good. This was good. This was good. I can't wait to see this match right here. I love this rivalry with these guys. The storytelling, the history between them, monumental. Man, I'm excited for this. I think it's gonna be great. And again, I say this all the time. When it comes to the Bucks, you know what you're getting out of that. Polo, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
I have a prediction.
Okay.
Circumstantial prediction, to be honest. Well, first and foremost, match was fire. Good to see the private party guys back. I'm not sold on them yet. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't come for me, okay? I wanted the Rascals to win because I want to see Desmond Xavier win. I knew that, let's be real, they were in Rancho, BJ, they were in Rancho Cucamonga, not Rancho Chucucha or whatever you call it. No, that was a sidebar, y'all. No, let's all seriousness though. Once again, 6 men know how to move in the ring. So you saw the fluidity, as you said earlier, Eric. You've seen it in the match. Yes, the Bucks are a highly imitated, copied tag team, but that's homage for greatness. I'll give them that. The Rascals should have won last night. But my prediction was this. I just wanted to get on that, to give that match some love. FTR has the titles, right? They're gonna, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Eric, but they're going to lose. I mean, they're going to beat the Bucks. Why? Because on this day, I'll see
I
clearly.
see clearly. In the state of sky to my
They will dethrone Edge and Christian are going to take that shit because we have not forgotten that at all out what FTR did to Beth Phoenix, bro. Like we can't just let you put my like almost paralyze my wife and you think I'm just gonna let that it slide. In the words of LA Knight, nah. So yeah, that's where I see that. But the Bucks and FTR's match. You guys act like that's one of the greatest tag team rivalries of all time. And I agree. You thought I was gonna say some F stuff. Yeah, y'all thought I was gonna do.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cap. I said, let me see what Polo about to say about this
But
one
he said
real
I
quick.
minimize this down. Everybody, you gotta see my facial reaction on this one. Yeah, FTR will win, but that's gonna be one of them ones. This is gonna be one of the ones to watch. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one.
Instant classic.
We gotta try carefully on calling everything classic, but this is.
But we know it's the Bucks though. You know how the Bucks do. They gonna give you a classic, man.
That
5 stars, guaranteed.
I mean, if that was like Kofi and Xavier, then I'm like,
Thank God.
no. See, that's
No,
incorrect.
trust me. Thank God.
God.
Are you thinking God? Are you thinking God? Yeah. When Kobe would say that, oh my, are you thinking God? Are you thinking God, Adam?
thinking God? Are you
I was
thinking God?
like, you know what? I like how we getting biblical with this. Now, I said, yeah. Are you thinking God? Are you?
Hey, I know this has nothing to do with right now, but please let me ask this question. I saw.
Yeah.
Is it true? WWE already released Royce Keys.
No, there's no way. There's no way. That was a thing?
I saw it. I saw it. I just saw some.
No,
I think
I mean he's doing he actually just did a episode on, well, supposedly, you didn't hear this from me. Supposedly he's recording a episode with Stephanie McMahon for her podcast. So that's supposed to be coming out soon.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
they saying rumors. They say it's rumors that he got fired. That's what I'm saying
Nah,
right now.
nah, he
But they said this was a day ago. They said he recently
yeah.
visited the WWE headquarters.
Yeah,
Um, so that's
yeah,
weird.
he's recording the podcast with Stephanie. That's the reason why I think that he was doing that, because Fightful did a report on that, saying that those reports were not true.
Woo.
Yeah, I was about to say because that would make they said he has not been fired by WWE despite recent online rumors, reports claiming he had been released over an alleged age issue, and that's been dismissed with Corey Hayes of BodySlam.net. They said he made his yeah,
Apparently,
apparently so he's supposed to be making a debut tomorrow in Dallas. They say on SmackDown. That's what they're saying. That's what I just said.
all right. My fault, y'all, for that little detour. I apologize.
Nah, you good. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
nah,
Royce Keys, man.
it it's wrestling, and he's an AEW alone.
He
Alone.
is.
Dang, that's crazy to say.
That is crazy. BJ, what's your thoughts, man? What you think about this whole match, man?
So, in reference to the match with Private Party, the Bucks, and the Rascals, I thought it was a fantastic match. The Bucks always put on classics whenever they hit the ring. For them to be not too far from their hometown, Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Cucamonga.
Cucamonga.
Remember, you gotta remember Polo is a real Californian.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So Cucamonga, California, and I was very glad to see them get that big time reaction they got. You know, our founding fathers got that great reaction. So shout out to the Bucks.
I don't know what you call this place, bro, but a black person is going to butcher a name, boy.
Uh,
Rancho Cucamonga, something
This is
like,
not
he
Street
from
Fighter,
Cali. They from Cali, y'all. They from Cali. They from Cali, y'all.
bro. This is not Street Fighter, bro. This is not Rancho.
said Kungamanga. Oh man, let's talk about this. Will Ospreay
Mm.
talking about his possible return. We're seeing the journey with him, hoping we see Will Ospreay. We'll see what's happening with that. But let's talk. We got to talk about this.
Mm.
We have got to talk about
Oh,
this.
my.
Man, this was crazy. We had a strap match with Tekla and the star killer herself, Chris Statlander.
Sexy.
Now I'm not gonna cap, bro. This one low key broke my heart. This one low key broke my damn heart, man. Because I ain't gonna cap, man. Y'all know how I feel about my girl Chris Statlander, Long Island's own. Now we down the title. This is crazy. But look, that was a hell of a match. Now I'm trying to remember if it was my man, Stat Man. Shout out to the Stat Man. Somebody was telling me like as to why they hate strap match because it's just one strap. It's like ain't doing nothing but just slapping each other with it. I was like, I get it. What really can you do with a strap? But this was good, man. These women, I mean, again, women have been killing it in pro wrestling for probably like the last 5 years. No cap. And I think they've been doing better than the men at this point. But yeah, low-key hurt me, man. Low-key hurt me. I was shocked. I sit up. I said, what? But it made sense. Tekla's been hot, man. And honestly, the last few matches, the last title match she lost. So I was like, well, if she loses this one, I don't know. But it made sense for Tekla to win this strap match because she's really like, it shows how like hardcore she gets with this man. Like she really loves the danger and the weapon. So I love Tekla. I always say this. Look, again, love the Lord. Okay. But when it comes to Tekla and the Sisters of Sin, them women got me in a spiritual chokehold because I don't know what it is with them, but man, look, something about them, man. I love it. The promos they be doing, Tekla in the middle, she be like, all right, and then you got the sisters saying, you'll be here. Like they be saying, I'm trying to remember the movie from back in the day, man. It was like two little twin sisters talking like that. I'm like, man, they got something with this one. But I love it. I love it. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see the Sisters of Sin sooner or later becoming the new tag team champs. I mean, granted, we know Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford
Let me get a
might be up next for that title, but I loved it. But speaking of the Sisters of Sin, I got to talk about this real quick before I get y'all's take. You see what happened? Soon as Tekla won that title, you see the Sisters of Sin beating the hell out of Chris Statlander. And then it was interesting. Jamie Hayter, okay, and Alex Winslow came and aided and helped Chris Statlander. But honestly, it ended with Tekla and the Sisters of Sin just looking like this, man. And this is the finish right here. Woo! Boy. I ain't gonna cap, man. This I truly enjoyed this. I really thought this match was great. I love the fact that we got Tekla as the new AEW champion again. Hurts my heart for Chris Statlander for Long Island for us to lose the title, but it's all good. We still got the tag team title, and we still got the AEW the men's world title. So I'm still okay. As long as MJF still got the title, I don't give a damn. But I do care about my girl Chris Statlander, so I ain't gonna say that. But this was great, man. I like everything that Tekla's been doing, the attacks, all the stuff backstage, all the promo she's been doing, Chris Statlander. They told that story very well. And I think the fact that now that we're seeing Tekla with the champion, I'm like, something about when you got that heel as a champion, the chase for the baby face is always really good, especially when that heel's got that faction with him, because every time somebody gonna interfere. But I again love this. I love this for Tekla. I love this for the Sisters of Sin. Honestly, I gotta see the Sisters of Sin get the tag team titles of this, but I gotta see all three of these women with gold. That's how I'm feeling about the triangle, man. I gotta see them all with some gold together, just draped in gold. Again, love the Lord, but these women have me in a spiritual chokehold. Lord, forgive me forgive me for I have sinned. Well, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
God is good all the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Come on now.
I feel the exact same way you feel. As far as Sky and Julia, Lord forgive me, but I have no shame for the way I feel about Tekla. I've been telling people the day she arrived into this promotion, y'all better watch out. She's coming, y'all. 1, 2, Tekla's coming for you. And that's what, bro. Congratulations first and foremost. This is how you build up somebody individually, by having a strong background. The Sisters of Sin dominated in their own fashion, but putting her at the front just gives them a level of seriousness, gives them a level of believability that they have. Everything that Tekla says from those promos when they are just in the back, from saying that we are not a faction, we are a family.
Yeah, man.
You just have to love that.
Come on.
I'm not going to lie. That promo, when she cut that and said that, that's when I knew that title was coming. So even though she lost this first title opportunity, I wasn't worried. So I was like, it's going to come quick. I didn't know it was going to come this quick, but it came and it's right. And the title just looks great on her. Now, what happens with Statlander?
That's a good question.
Really respectfully, I wish I could have had Stat on a plate last night.
That's insane, sir. You know what? Just for that, you're gonna get a couple of darn cow slaps.
Just got very rich from taking out Jet Speed, and it's Jake Doyle. This guy's an animal, and this guy's an animal, and we're gonna kill some people. That's what we're gonna do. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is gonna be great. Ow. Let's go out.
I'm sorry, Stat Eddie. But I just think you're amazing. I was so happy when you won. I was very sad that you lost, but you lost to my wife. Match was a banger, though. The goal was who can take more pain. Like, that was the bet. I'm gonna beat you until it was kind of like an internal I quit match.
I like that.
It was like an internal. That's what I took from that, because as much as Stat was really beating the crap out of Taylor, like you said earlier about her demeanor, she was receiving everything like she was enjoying it. She was enjoying getting hit with those straps, while you could see Statlander was her superpowers were being drained per hit. She was getting weaker per hit. Tekla was literally getting stronger with every strap. Yeah, you're gonna see that it hurts, but I'm strong. And that final spot where they were on the top rope and she did the crawl back and climbed herself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's over, bro. I was like, Stat, she's not gonna have an answer. So I'm like, she does that spider shit in the ring, and then now she's doing it on you, tied up with a strap in a turnbuckle. Yeah, this is something different. So, and this is why I just say, yeah, shout out to Tekla. I was very impressed, man. And Mercedes?
Hey, she said she's gonna be back soon, CMLL. But yeah, man, I agree with you, man. It's something about Tekla, man. She's been killing it. And like my girl Tekla always says, let's get toxic. BJ, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, as a fellow brother in the Lord as well, I must say, Tekla, I need some of that toxicity in my life. But
Yo, shit.
however,
Whoa, shit.
however,
Oh, you're sick.
However, this match, I felt all the feels in terms of that the intensity of this match. But this was totally unexpected for Tekla to win. I did not think Tekla was going to win. But how Chris Tangana was talking in her different interviews, she was saying, how she's looking forward to the future and seeing what she's going to do next. And I was like, Stat, it seems as if you kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened. So I'm hopeful to see what happens with Chris next. I do think that she's a great talent. Obviously, she is one of those few wrestlers that I just not just as a wrestler. I'm a huge fan of her. She reminds me a lot of a younger version of Mickey James and different people like that. That just like with the athletic prowess and the different things. Not just like obviously she's a beautiful woman, but there's her athletic prowess is just fantastic enough that it goes off the charts. So this was a very intense strap match. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really hopeful to see what Tekla does next.
Yeah, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Just seeing Tekla win, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think something came over me, man. I really think I had a certain kind of chips.
I don't think you know how much I just jumped out of my seat. That
The Rock chills, boy. The Rock chills, man. That look, I still got chills now. I got chills now for my girl Tekla. Look, I loved it, man. This was great. I thought this was a great show. I think they really had some shockers. Again, Tommaso Ciampa, man, losing the title, but I think again we talked about it before, man. That could be something special. But again, my girl Tekla winning the AEW Women's Championship. Let's get toxic. I'm all for it, man. Look, this was great, man. I really enjoyed this show. I think this was great. Another
Yeah.
banger. I always say there's never a time where I'm ever upset. You'll never see me put this on here. I'll tell you this. You know, damn. Never. You will never see me do that with an AEW show. Because that's how good the show is. I mean, like, again, they've been killing it for, I'll say, for a year and a half, almost 2 years. They've been killing it, man. Honestly, just for y'all, for AEW, man, I'm gonna give y'all the good old Woody Woo Walk, man. Let's
Bentley, hit him up if it's team looking. Hit the way when I'm bored. It's still a Mary for the dinner.
yeah, man.
So Eric, if I could
what
interject
was
for just one
that?
moment,
Huh?
if I could just interject for just one
I've
moment.
never seen that before.
Hey, that's Woody, man. Man, RP to my man Pop Smoke, man. I had to do it for my man Pop, man. Got to do it for my man Pop.
So, what are we thinking for Grand Slam Australia, gentlemen? So we got Brody and MJF. We
Yep.
got Harley and Willow versus Megan and Penelope.
Yep.
We got Briscoe and Fletcher number 7, and I believe we also have a match between Mox and Takeshita for the international. I mean, for the continental title. I'm sorry. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking about those matches?
Esther, Megan Bain and Penelope, Brody.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What you got there?
For me, I agree with. I think Megan Bain and Penelope before. I think they're definitely taking it because it's. I love the Babes of Wrath. I really do. But I ain't gonna cap, bro. Megan Bain, that's another woman. That is a different type of woman that goes up in that ring, man. So yeah, I would say Megan Bain, Penelope Ford. I'm going with MJF, and I'm gonna go with Fletcher as well. I think Fletcher somehow is gonna still retain that.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't see him dropping it like, bro, for a week. Yeah, no, I not even a week. That's like what 2, 3, 4 days. Yeah, no, I can't see him like losing that.
They said they're not gonna do him like Kane.
Yeah. What was the other match? Was it another one that you said?
Mox and Takeshita.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Is it too early to take it off Mox? Is it too early to take it off Mox? Do you think?
Well, this is the thing. Mox has had it since what, November?
Yes, sir.
So, and Revolution is February 28th.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
So March 15th.
March 15th.
oh, March 15th. My fault.
That's my birthday.
That's crazy. My birthday's March 1st. I ain't get nothing this year.
Wait,
Last year I had Elimination Chamber for my birthday.
So your birthday passed 90, and you didn't even tell me. Happy
No,
belated birthday,
I said it's March 1st, not February.
March for
Yeah.
my birthday's Saturday, his is Sunday.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And but what's crazy, like last year, I felt like I had such a monumental birthday because it was like my 30th birthday. And that's when that Elimination Chamber and that's when John Cena turned heel. I was like, this was a good birthday present. I'll take this. Pause. I'll accept this.
See, I'm mad my birthday falls on Elimination Chamber this year.
It's okay. It might be good. You never know. Might get Bianca.
My predictions, obviously.
Revolution.
Yeah, my prediction for Grand Slam, obviously, I think that MJF is going to get the dub in some sort of way. It's gonna be shenanigans, but he's gonna
Brody
find a way.
and
He's gonna find a way. Um, I do think that Mox and Takeshita will be a great match. It'll be a banger. Oh yeah, we got Andrade and Hangman as well. So
Oh
Andrade
shoot.
and Hangman, that's gonna be a banger. I
oh
think I do think that they're gonna maybe go Andrade because of the run because of like the electric that yeah this electric run that he's been on. I don't think that stops.
mm,
Um and obviously I do think that Harley and Willow will retain.
Hmm.
I do think that we will see hopefully I know it may not happen. We might see the inspiration come in and maybe challenge for the tag titles at some point. Since Harley does, sing their song and they do have a lot of history with her.
Hmm.
Um, and I do think that uh Fletcher and Briscoe obviously is gonna be a great match.
mm.
I do think that Fletcher's gonna obviously retain. Much as I love Mark Briscoe, he can do a lot without the title. He can do a lot without the title. So he's very flexible in terms of his storylines and things of that nature. So I definitely can see that being a great match and being a great little bookend for their story.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that too. Man, yeah, this is gonna be a really good week for AEW, man. I ain't gonna cap, man. This has already been a great
It's
start,
gonna be a
man.
2 hour. It's gonna be a 2.5 hour special too, guys. So like, it's gonna be so
Get
they.
your popcorn ready.
Yes, sir. Oh man. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social media. And I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all know what to do. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. Hey, look, appreciate all the love and support y'all been giving us as always. Y'all know I love my TikTok family. You see two of them right here. My man Polo, my man BJ. Shout out to Hills for Life Chris. Shout out to my man Deidre. Shout out to Ladybug 13, OB Dub. Shout out to my man Bro Kage. Uh, uh, if I miss anybody, y'all know I love you because it's too many of us up on them panels. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, man, I appreciate all the love support you guys have been doing. Keep liking it up, keep subscribing, and we're gonna give you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man. You already know what this is. Oh man. But we talked about AEW Dynamite, the greatness of what they're doing, seeing Tommaso Ciampa losing to Kyle Fletcher for that TNT title. Okay. Seeing the toxic spider, my girl Tekla, okay, beating Chris Statlander for that title.
My wife.
It's time. Let's get toxic. Oh man. But we had my man BJ up in the building. We had my man from the Square Circle Boys podcast, my man Polo Polo. Yeah. Okay. And y'all know me. It's your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. Because we are the exclusive nights, so we always show that we are the best there is, the best there was, and the
So
best there
the
ever will
server
be.
will be.
Come on now. And to ensure that your nights will never be the same. Y'all be good, y'all be safe, and y'all be blessed.
Yes,
We
sir.
out of here.